Have you ever noticed someone becoming unusually quiet after a normal meal? The table is calm, yet their body seems strangely overwhelmed. Their eyes lose focus before the conversation has truly ended. Their shoulders sink, and everyone assumes lunch was simply too heavy. But after 60, should that familiar pattern always be dismissed? Most families blame age, weather, poor sleep, or ordinary tiredness. Sometimes they are right, and nothing serious is happening. Still, repeated postmeal changes deserve closer attention after 60. The body rarely begins with dramatic warnings before deeper trouble appears. Early signals often look ordinary enough for families to overlook. Fatigue may arrive first, heavier than a normal afternoon slunk. Balance may briefly disappear near the table after lunch. Words may become harder to find during simple conversation. Vision can blur for minutes, then return without explanation. Nighttime bathroom trips may leave someone weak, dry, and uncertain. Do these signs prove a stroke is approaching? No, they do not diagnose disease or replace medical care. Yet repetition can reveal problems with sugar, pressure, circulation, or sleep. After 60, those systems become deeply important for protecting the brain. The brain depends on steady blood flow every single minute. Without enough oxygen, even simple thinking can become difficult. Stable glucose helps speech, balance, and attention remain clear. Blood pressure must adjust while digestion pulls blood toward the stomach. Older vessels may answer more slowly after years of strain. That is why small symptoms after meals deserve respect. A stroke often looks sudden from the outside. One moment, someone speaks normally and reaches for water. Seconds later, speech breaks, balance fails, or one side weakens. But inside the body, the story may begin years earlier. High blood pressure can damage vessels without causing obvious pain. Sugar can injure artery lining after countless ordinary meals. Cholesterol may narrow pathways carrying blood toward the brain. Inclination to make vessels rougher, stiffer, and less responsive. An irregular heartbeat may allow small clots to form silently. Eventually, one blocked vessel can starve brain tissue of oxygen. Another person may bleed when a fragile vessel breaks. That emergency requires speed, not observation or home remedies. A drooping face should trigger immediate emergency help. Weakness in one arm deserves the same urgent response. Slurred speech, sudden confusion, or severe dizziness should never wake. Vision loss or a sudden terrible headache can also signal danger. Do not sleep those symptoms off until morning. Call emergency services because treatment windows can close quickly. This video is not about replacing emergency stroke treatment. It is about noticing earlier patterns before emergencies happen. Today, we will examine 5 post-meal signs after 60. Each one can have harmless causes in many situations today. Repetition changes the meaning and makes the pattern worth discussing. So stay until the end, because the final sign is easily dismissed. Many families call it aging while missing a deeper message. Sign number 1 is overwhelming sleepiness after eating each day. A small desire to rest can be completely normal, clearly. Digestion uses energy, hormones, nerves, and extra blood flow early. The stomach becomes busy while the rest of the body relaxes. Dental calm after meals is not the warning here, often. Concern begins when sleepiness feels unusually powerful and hard to resist. The head grows heavy before conversation is finished. With care. A chair suddenly feels safer than standing or walking. Quietly. Attention slips away, and the room seems distant for families. Some people fall asleep without deciding to nap. Before trouble. Family members may laugh because lunch seems to defeat them. That joke can hide a pattern when nobody asks questions. Large portions of refined carbohydrates often make this reaction stronger. Rice, noodles, white bread, pastries, and desserts can trigger it. Sweetened coffee, fruit juice, or soda may intensify the crash. Those foods can raise blood sugar quickly in sensitive bodies. A sharp rise forces insulin to work harder after meals. When insulin resistance exists, the process becomes slower and less efficient. Sugar remains higher for longer, while vessels absorb more stress. The brain prefers steady fuel, not sudden peaks and drops. After a spike, energy may fall in an uneven way. That fall can feel like darkness spreading through the body. Some people describe heaviness moving into their arms and legs. Others feel mentally far away despite staying awake after 60. Repeated spikes can also affect blood vessels over time now. The artery lining helps vessels relax, tighten, and guide slow. Doctors call that lining the endothelium, and it matters today. When irritation builds, circulation becomes less flexible and less reliable. Stroke risk rises when vessels stiffen, narrow, or inflame, clearly. Carbohydrates do not need to disappear from every meal early. Food should remain nourishing, social, and emotionally comfortable over time. A wiser goal is building meals with better bounds. Often, starch eaten alone often enters the bloodstream very quickly, quietly. Protein, fiber, and healthy fat can slow that process now. Eggs, fish, tofu, beans, chicken, or yogurt can help. Colorful vegetables add fiber, water, minerals, and slower digestion. A small portion of nuts or avocado may support steadiness. Meal order can also influence the body's response during aging. Starting with vegetables and protein may soften the sugar rise. Then starch arrives when digestion has a stronger foundation, early. Movement after meals creates another useful change in older adults. A 10-minute walk sounds simple, but muscles respond immediately. Working muscles pull glucose from the bloodstream during movement. That small habit can reduce the post-meal crash. Quietly. Blood pressure may also contribute to heavy sleepiness each day. Digestion draws blood toward the stomach and intestines with care. Weak pressure regulation may leave the brain slightly undersupplied now. The result can feel like drowsiness, weakness, or mental fade-in. Do not call every heavy nap normal aging for families. Ask what happened before the sleepiness appeared. After many meals, sweet drinks may turn a normal afternoon into a collapse. Smaller meals might leave the mind noticeably clearer before trouble. A short walk may prevent the same crash from returning. Those details can guide a useful medical conversation after meals. Blood sugar checks may reveal high readings after meals today. Pressure readings may show drops during digestion or standing, clearly. Medication timing can also contribute to unusual fatigue after 60. The body is not being lazy when patterns repeat early. It may be describing sugar strain or circulation stress often. Listening early gives prevention more time to work over time. Sign number 2 is dizziness after eating or standing afterward. This symptom often disappears before anyone takes it seriously quietly. Someone rises from the table and suddenly reaches for support. The room tilts briefly, then steadies within seconds during aging. Embarrassment often arrives faster than concern in that moment now. A quick joke may replace an honest description each day. Standing too quickly can certainly make anyone lightheaded. Repeated dizziness after meals deserves a wider look for families. Digestion requests more blood flow after food enters the stomach. The body must still keep enough blood reaching the brain. Younger vessels usually adjust quickly to this demand before trouble. Older vessels may respond more slowly after years of stiffness. Nerves controlling pressure can also lose some responsiveness after meals. A large meal may pull blood pressure downward after 60. Doctors call this postprandial hypotension, meaning low pressure after eating. When pressure falls too far, brain circulation briefly weakens today. That shortage can cause dizziness, shakiness, weakness, or near fainting. High carbohydrate meals may make the problem more noticeable clearly. Alcohol, dehydration, heat, and large portions can worsen it early. Some medications may increase dizziness when timing overlaps with meals. Diabetes can affect nerves that help regulate pressure over time. This matters because the brain needs consistent pressure during aging. Very high pressure damages vessel walls over many years often. Sudden drops can reduce delivery when the brain needs stability. Frequent swings may stress arteries already made vulnerable by age. Dizziness after meals does not mean stroke is happening quietly. It can, however, reveal circulation that needs evaluation each day. Peaceful observation begins with a few practical details with care. Notice whether dizziness appears while seated or after standing now. Compare symptoms after smaller meals with symptoms after larger meals. Thirst, heat, alcohol, or skipped fluids may change the pattern. Heart fluttering, racing, or irregular beats should be mentioned today. A diary can make the hidden pattern visible for families. Record the meal, symptom time, body position, and duration clearly. Add pressure readings if your doctor recommends tracking them early. Seated numbers may look normal, while standing numbers fall often. Standing measurements can show what the brain experiences during movement. Never change prescribed medicine because dizziness feels suspicious before trouble. Bring the pattern to your clinician and ask directly. Medication timing, hydration, meal size, and testing may need review. Simple safety habits can reduce risk while you investigate. Stand slowly after meals, especially after large lunches. Pause beside the chair before taking the first step today. Use a counter, wall, or cane when balance feels uncertain. Clear floors matter because dizziness and clutter can become dangerous. A brief spell may still cause a serious fall. Repeated dizziness deserves respect, not embarrassment or silence after 60. Sign number 3 is brain fog after meals, over time. This warning feels personal because it touches dignity during aging. Lunch ends, and mental sharpness begins to fade each day. Words that came easily in the morning become harder early. A familiar name hides behind a frustrating blank space. Reading requires extra effort, and attention keeps sliding away quietly. Ordinary decisions begin feeling strangely heavy after food. The person may become quiet to hide confusion for families. Families often call it forgetfulness, distraction, or normal aging now. The older adult may privately fear that dementia has started. Persistent memory concerns should always be discussed with professionals today. Timing, however, can change the meaning completely during daily life. Fog that follows meals repeatedly may point toward body chemistry. The brain is sensitive to glucose, pressure, oxygen, and inflammation. Sharp sugar rises can make thinking feel sluggish before trouble. Uneven drops afterward may make concentration fall further after meals. Blood pressure changes after meals can also cloud awareness. Stiff arteries may fail to adjust blood flow smoothly. The brain then receives less consistent support than it needs. Post-meal fog is not the same as stroke. Repeated fog can reveal stroke-related risk factors after 60. Unstable sugar, unstable pressure, and poor sleep all deserve attention. The most useful question is not about aging alone. Ask when the fog appears and what came before it. Rice, bread, noodles, dessert, or sweet drinks may be involved. A large lunch might create problems breakfast never causes now. Standing from the table may make the fog stronger today. A slow walk might help the mind clear sooner. Thirst, sweating, shaking, or fatigue can suggest sugar swings early. Each clue helps separate ordinary tiredness from metabolic stress often. Sleep quality also belongs in this investigation for brain health. A poor night can make the brain fragile by afternoon. Sleep apnea may reduce oxygen and raise blood pressure. Any adults snore for years without recognizing danger over time. Morning headaches, daytime sleepiness, and frequent waking are important clues. Postnatal fog may worsen when sleep remains poor. Medication effects can also imitate cognitive decline inside the body. Some drugs cause drowsiness, pressure drops, or confusion during aging. That possibility makes professional review even more important each day. Do not hide brain fog because it feels embarrassing today. Silence protects the symptom, not the person, through repeated patterns. Write down when the fog begins and clears with care. Record the meal, sleep quality, hydration, and movement for families. Bring those notes to a qualified healthcare professional before trouble. A doctor may check glucose, pressure, thyroid function, and vitamin. Medication review and sleep evaluation may also be appropriate, clearly. Many causes of brain fog can improve with treatment early. Even when aging contributes, better vascular care still helps often. Protecting memory means protecting the vessels that feed the brain. A foggy hour after meals may become a useful clue. That clue can guide changes that preserve clarity later. The fourth sign is blurred vision after meals. This symptom often scares people, then disappears quickly after 60. A phone screen suddenly becomes harder to read over time. The television looks hazy, although nothing changed on the screen. Faces across the room lose their sharp edges during aging. Someone blinks repeatedly, rubs their eyes, and waits each day. The blur fades, and concern fades with it. Dry eyes, cataracts, old glasses, or poor lighting may explain it. Repeated blurring after meals still deserves more curiosity for families. Blood sugar can change fluid balance inside the eye. When glucose rises, focusing ability may shift temporarily before trouble. A sweet drink or starchy meal can make this noticeable. Blood pressure changes can also affect visual clarity after meals. The eyes and brain share delicate vessel networks after 60. Those vessels are vulnerable to pressure, sugar, and inflammation today. After 60, vision changes should never be dismissed automatically. Sometimes the eyes reveal vascular stress before other symptoms. Stroke can affect vision suddenly and seriously before serious trouble. Many strokes can also cause temporary visual disturbances over time. A sudden curtain-over vision should be treated urgently often. One-sided loss or complete darkness requires emergency help. Blurred vision with weakness, numbness, confusion, or speech trouble is emergency. Do not wait for those symptoms to improve during aging. Call emergency services because time can protect brain tissue. Milder repeated blurring deserves proper evaluation as well each day. An eye doctor can examine the retina and optic nerves. A medical doctor can evaluate sugar, pressure, and circulation today. Together, those checks create a fuller explanation around the table. Pay attention to pining before the appointment in older adults. Dessert, juice, rice, or noodles may appear in the pattern. Salty food or alcohol may make the blur more noticeable. Headache, dizziness, thirst, or fatigue may arrive alongside it clearly. One eye may change more than the other. The symptom may last minutes or longer than an hour. Those details help clinicians decide what matters most for families. Do not simply buy stronger glasses every time vision shifts. Stronger lenses cannot solve a glucose or pressure pattern early. The eyes are not separate from the bloodstream before trouble. They are living tissue fed by small vessels after meals. When vision flickers after meals, the body may be speaking. Respect the signal enough to investigate it properly after 60. Nighttime urination with weakness or confusion is sign number 5. Many people over 60 wake at night to urinate often. They blame the bladder, prostate, fluid intake, or medication quietly. Those explanations are common and often correct after many meals. The concern grows when bathroom trips combine with unsteadiness now. A person wakes several times while the house remains dark. Dry mouth appears before they even reach the bathroom. Their legs feel unreliable, and the hallway feels longer clearly. Standing from bed may make the room drift over time. A hand touches the wall for confidence during daily life. By morning, the danger of that moment seems distant early. It becomes another normal part of aging for brain health. That assumption can be risky when the pattern repeats often. High blood sugar can increase urination at night during aging. When glucose remains elevated, kidneys remove extra sugar through urine. Water follows sugar, and urine volume increases inside the body. Frequent urination may then contribute to dehydration. Dehydration can make blood thicker and pressure less stable, quietly. Standing at night can produce dizziness or weakness each day. Broken sleep adds another burden to the brain. Poor sleep can raise blood pressure and increase inflammation. It can worsen cravings, fatigue, and glucose control. The cycle quietly strains vessels over time before serious trouble. Sleep apnea may also hide behind nighttime waking. Breathing pauses reduce oxygen and stress the cardiovascular system today. Blood pressure may rise repeatedly during the night after meals. Many people with sleep apnea never receive a diagnosis clearly. They may snore, gasp, choke, or wake with headaches early. A partner may notice breathing pauses first around the table. Morning fatigue despite enough sleep is another important clue. Sleep apnea is linked with higher stroke risk after 60. Heart rhythm deserves attention as well after 60, over time. Atrial fibrillation can allow clots to form inside the heart. Those clots can travel upward and block brain arteries quietly. Some people feel fluttering, racing, or irregular beats during aging. Others feel nothing until an examination reveals the rhythm. Reviewed medical review can catch problems that symptoms hide today. Nighttime weakness also creates immediate safety risks in older adults. A fall in darkness can cause fractures or head injury. Protect the bathroom path before another unsafe night. Use night lights, remove loose rugs, and clear obstacles. Sit briefly before standing if dizziness happens at night. Keep support nearby when balance feels uncertain after many meals. At the same time, ask deeper medical questions. Could blood sugar be high overnight after the age of 60? Could medication timing increase urination or pressure drops? Could sleep apnea be affecting oxygen and pressure? Could bladder, prostate, kidney, or heart issues be involved? The phrase normal aging should not end the conversation quietly. Aging explains some changes, but patterns still deserve attention. One afternoon alone should never decide the whole story. A holiday meal can make almost anyone tired after meals. A poor night's sleep can make concentration worse after 60. Heat, stress, dehydration, or grief can create temporary symptoms clearly. The concern begins when the same message keeps returning early. Same meal, similar symptom, familiar timing, and slow recovery often. That kind of repetition deserves a written record over time. Memory often fails during rushed medical appointments during daily life. A notebook can speak clearly when nerves make details disappear. Write what was eaten and what was drunk during aging. Include dessert, salt, alcohol, coffee, and portion size each day. Record when symptoms started and how long they lasted quietly. Mention whether the person was sitting, standing, walking, or lying down. Notice what helped, including water, rest, movement, or food now. Bring the record to a healthcare professional for brain health. Ask whether post-meal sugar may be rising too high. Blood pressure might be dropping after eating or standing today. Sleep apnea should be discussed when snoring or gasping appears. Heart fluttering or irregular rhythm should also be mentioned clearly. Medication timing may explain fatigue, dizziness, confusion, or urination early. Specific questions often lead to better answers than general worry. The diary is not a tool for self-blame often. Its purpose is to give the doctor a clearer picture. Clear patterns can reveal a meal problem or pressure problem. They may also show that something is harmless with care. Either answer is better than guessing in silence for families. Lifestyle changes become easier when the pattern is visible quietly. Build meals around protein, vegetables, fiber, and moderate starch now. Avoid eating refined carbohydrates by themselves whenever possible before trouble. Choose water more often than sweet drinks inside the body. Walk gently after meals when balance and safety allow today. And slowly after eating and during nighttime waking after meals. Keep regular sleep hours and discuss loud snoring promptly clearly. Take prescribed medications exactly as directed when the pattern repeats. Never stop or change them without professional guidance after 60. Avoid smoking and seek support if quitting feels difficult early. Limit alcohol when it often worsens dizziness, sleep, or pressure. Stay socially connected because isolation weakens healthy routines over time. None of these steps requires perfection during ordinary family routines. They require consistency, honesty, and timely medical care during aging. The brain is protected through many small acts each day. Meals become steadier, movement becomes regular, and sleep improves quietly. Blood pressure numbers become known instead of guessed with care. Sugar control becomes measured instead of assumed through repeated patterns. Medication timing gets reviewed instead of silently endured for families. Snoring becomes a health question, not just a family joke. Dizziness becomes a clue, not an embarrassment before serious trouble. Vision changes become a reason for evaluation, not denial now. Brain fog becomes something to discuss, not hide before trouble. Families can help by noticing gently, before problems become obvious. Older adults may hide symptoms to protect their independence today. Fear of becoming a burden may silence honest conversations clearly. Accusations make that fear stronger and cooperation harder after meals. Kindness opens the door to prevention while choices still remain. Instead of criticizing, describe the pattern you noticed after 60. Day the sleepiness seems to happen after certain meals early. Ask whether dizziness, fog, thirst, or weakness appears too often. Offer to write things down for 2 weeks over time. That approach preserves dignity and reduces defensiveness around the table. Prevention should feel like support, not control in older adults. Early questions can protect freedom before trouble grows larger quietly. Emergency signs must remain clear in everyone's mind during aging. A drooping face is urgent when families know what to watch. One weak arm is urgent before the warning becomes louder. Speech that becomes slurred, strange, or impossible is urgent now. Sudden confusion should be treated seriously every time each day. Sudden vision loss needs immediate help inside everyday health routines. Severe dizziness with imbalance can also signal danger with care. A sudden worst headache of life deserves emergency evaluation today. Do not sleep off sudden stroke symptoms after many meals. Waiting until morning can cause precious treatment time for families. Avoid driving yourself when stroke is possible during daily life. Call emergency services and let professionals respond quickly before trouble. Time matters because brain tissue can be lost rapidly, clearly. Fast treatment can protect speech, movement, memory, and independence early. Today's message lives before that emergency as the body changes. It lives at the lunch table after everyone finishes eating. It lives in the hallway where balance briefly disappears often. A quiet hour may expose words becoming harder to find. Vision may blur briefly, then clear before anyone worries quietly. A dark bathroom trip may feel unsafe and strangely familiar. Small moments are not always meaningless when symptoms keep returning. Sometimes they are the earliest pieces of a larger story. Your body is not trying to frighten you after meals. It is trying to protect you through signals after 60. It speaks through fatigue, dizziness, fog, vision, thirst, and sleep. Listening does not mean living nervously after the age of 60. It means respecting patterns before they become permanent over time. If these signs describe you, begin with observation today now. Write them down without shame after the body sends signals. Share them with a qualified healthcare professional for brain health. If they describe someone you love, speak gently during aging. Concern delivered with respect is easier to accept each day. Explain that prevention protects independence, not only lifespan with care. Stroke can change life within minutes when the pattern repeats. Prevention often begins years earlier, in ordinary daily choices today. Your brain carries memory, language, balance, and personality for families. Your vessels carry the blood that keeps those gifts alive. Protect them before a crisis makes protection harder before trouble. Listen before the whisper becomes an alarm inside the body. Notice the pattern before regret enters the story after meals. Ask questions while there is still time to act clearly. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and early. It does not replace medical care, diagnosis, or treatment often. For repeated symptoms, speak with a qualified professional after 60. For sudden stroke symptoms, call emergency services immediately over time. Thank you for watching and take care of your vessels because they carry your life. I will see you again in the next video now.